Okay everyone, we have some stuff to talk about. This mic is not live, but I wanted to hold it because if you haven't noticed, we are in the closet. I'm sure at some point I'll give you a whole tour, but I wanted to start filming not in front of a blank wall. This is my closet. It has clothes, shoes, accessories. See, I have my notes. See, I have my notes. I have a set. I have a mic. We're doing it. I thought that today would be fun to talk about one of my favorite merch collections of all time, which is the Dangerous Woman World Tour merch collection. However, in this specific segment, I'm not sure if this is gonna make it into a bigger video or if this is just the video, but so I'm going to be talking about the Urban Outfitters specific collection because I love it so much and I've been on my little collector's moment as of recent. So I was just inspired to revisit that era, especially as like I don't really care about the trends, like following the trends. Like I do if I like them, but like right now I'm over everything and I've been just looking at like old stuff. It's been fun collecting. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. We need to get into it. So let's start off with the Dangerous Woman tour, right? So Ariana Grande, her merch before this had been kind of bad. And the funny thing is like, it was good for its time in a sense where like it fit in with the vibe of like what merch was because nobody had really done merch like that. There's arguably a couple different tours and people and stuff that like have set like what merch ended up being today, like into what it was. What? There's a couple people and like tours and songs and albums that like have, in my opinion, the credits of turning merch back then into what it is today, which is a bit more fashiony. Like even you see like small artists and like people that don't even necessarily have like the biggest record label or like whatever, like they're still able to make very like fashionable merch. Not saying that like they wouldn't be able to, my point is like they're able to make stuff that is very like at the time would have been considered the top like A-list like cool shit, but now like everyone kind of knows like merch is like cool, you know? I think merch used to be not cool. See, when I was younger, like it would be like a meme, like if somebody wore merch. And I think that's because the designs back then were kind of crazy. I remember when I was a fan of Ariana and it was just starting out, it was the Honeymoon Tour merch. And I remember she released this shirt that was literally like an iPhone selfie of her in like a cloud border on like a white shirt. And there's like one shirt with like a bunch of emojis on it. No hate. Because like at the time it was a vibe, but like now if that was released, I mean it would have to be like a throwback retro moment. Like there's no way that you could release that. Like I don't know, like I mean like now it might be cool, but like you know what I mean. Okay, let's move on. The Dangerous Woman merch, the album merch, right? There were certain pieces that were interesting because it was quite plain, but it did have a bit more of like a fashion undertone, I want to say, you know, whatever, just like kind of plain pieces, like nothing crazy. And then Ariana went on tour, and then that's when, you know, this era of like merch was happening. And like I've heard people refer to it as like the great tour merch war of like 2017 or whatever. And so I remember Ariana's tour merch released, and it was really interesting to me because I had not seen any merch like this before. And especially at the time, not being a fan of like Kanye or Rihanna, like I was just very young. I didn't know a lot about music. I think that like just seeing her merch, it was very interesting because it was such a shift. And you know, it was probably influenced by people like them, but it was just so new and so different to me. So I was very interested in it. Okay. Some of the pieces we saw, I think I would need to make another video on this, so this might be cut out, or if this is a separate video, I'll breeze through it in like 2 seconds. But basically, we saw like big blown up pictures that were like recolored to like fit sweatshirts and stuff, and then like tour date prints on the back. And then another thing that I found interesting is like she stopped including like the actual dates of the shows on the back, and I think that that was quite smart because in my opinion, it looks kind of ugly and like you don't really need the date of the show on the back. Like it doesn't really do much, you know? I just don't think that you need like to clog up the sweatshirt with like numbers, you know? So when they started doing just the cities, it looked really nice in my opinion. But where it starts to get interesting and like more into like the Urban Outfitters side of things, later in the tour, I believe Ariana went to like Europe, America, South America, Asia, like a lot of different places. Okay, maybe even Australia, I don't know. I remember the tour merch started to have a change because Bry, one of Ariana's dancers and choreographers, like one of the twins, Bryce started doing graffiti. I mean, we had seen Bryce graffiti for a long time, like on Ariana's Snap and like just kind of like throughout everywhere. And this graffiti became largely known later by like the general public as like the Seven Rings graffiti. But Ariana had been using Bryce graffiti for a very long time in a lot of different projects. But it started becoming a lot more prevalent like on the Dangerous Woman tour merch. And so we would see like certain classic designs then start to have adaptations with like added graffiti and stuff, and then like the dates on the back would be a little bit modified and stuff. I'm pretty sure this was after the Europe leg, because a lot of this stuff on the back, like on the dates side, has like the One Love Manchester like ribbon symbol next to Manchester. So obviously that happened. That was like designed and printed after the Europe leg. But yeah, we saw images have like extra graffiti on them and like just overall newer designs. What I loved about this was like the way the pictures were taken and everything. Like it was just interesting to see like this merch, especially compared to literally even just the previous tour. Such a step up. Even the same album, but just the previous year. Like from album to tour, like the merch was just so different. And like I said, like me being a fan of like just Ariana at the time, I definitely found this interesting, you know? So for example, some of the graffiti pieces that came out reminded me of like VETEMENTS. So for example, they had this grande world tour graffiti thing going on, which made its way through a lot of the pieces of the merch on this tour. But on the hoodies, they were putting it like right on the hood, which is just like what VETEMENTS does. I think it's interesting. And they were definitely going for that feel. I mean, Ariana wears stuff designed by Demna on that tour. Like I'm pretty sure this bodysuit is designed by Demna. I couldn't find much information. The bomber jacket that she wears is designed by Demna, and also she wears all of those bomber jackets. Like she definitely loves Demna and his work like 100%, even though it's not something anybody talks about, which is so weird to me. But like that's how I found out about Demna's work, because she's like the feminine representation of Demna's work. We're not going to talk about that right now. Okay, anyways, so yeah, a lot of these pieces started coming out. We had like these graffiti hoodies, this bomber jacket, some like crew neck items. Those are just the ones coming to mind right now. And they were different, they were fresh, they were nice, they were very fashiony, and they were expensive, like for what they were, like what you were getting, just like a print on a Gildan hoodie. But I mean, I still have mine today and they've held up pretty well. So I mean, I'm not mad about it, you know? And I will say, they level up your outfit. Like having that like black hood with like the little graffiti like poke through like a jacket or something in the winter, or just like having it up and like a hat and a jacket, like it does complete the look in a way that like most tour merch would not. There were like some really cute ads on the internet of like Ariana and like the twins wearing this graffiti stuff, and then like the dancers were always wearing these bombers with the Grande World Tour graffiti, which I still want one of the black bombers. I'm going to get it. It's gonna happen soon. It's just like an Alpha Industries bomber with Grande on the front and then World Tour in the back, and it's in Bryce graffiti, and it's like really, really nice. It's just printed on like Alpha Industries blank, which was like a common theme at that time of like printing things on bomber jackets like on tour merch. And one reason why it went really well with her merch is because she wore damn near the same jacket on stage, exact same black, exact same orange shades. Like it's just, she wore like the $2,000 version of that jacket, but like it literally was made by Alpha Industries and VETEMENTS like as a collab. But yeah, it was really cool because one thing I love about Ariana's stuff is like her merch and like her videos, her visuals, her makeup, her hair, her outfits. It always ties in with the era seamlessly. Like she never just sacrifices like the era or like the vibe of a whole project just to like look pretty or just to like, you know, sell more stuff, you know? This really felt appropriate like for her merch collection. So I really did appreciate that. On tour, it started being sold and everyone was like, holy shit, like these are really beautiful, you know. I don't want to talk about this too much. I have to get into the Urban Outfitters part or else we're gonna be here for 3 years. But basically, yeah, there were like pictures of it, like the digital markups, everyone was like freaking out. And now let me talk about the Urban Outfitters portion, because this is why I'm really here. It was clearly like achieving a certain look, and I might get the details a little bit mixed up on this next part. Basically, it was announced that Ariana would have the DWT XUO, which is Dangerous Women Tour and Urban Outfitters collab. And everyone was really, really excited because this merch, you know, it was either you buy it online or you buy it at the tour. And there was no chance to like try stuff on, no chance to see it. And like thing is like with us Ariana fans, like it's cool to like see the displays in store. Like people freak out over like anything that happens in store related to Ariana. So I mean, it was very exciting to see like this merch, you know, getting its chance to shine at like Urban Outfitters. Also, another really important factor factor in the hype around this for fans is that unlike now when Ariana has the best-selling perfume at Ulta, all her other perfumes are sold internationally, and you can find them on any shelves. Same thing with the makeup brand REM Beauty. She was not as big as she is now at this time. This was technically only her second world tour, so for fans to have access to merchandise in an in-person setting like this was very exciting because it was super new for the fandom. So when this started happening, all the pictures were online. I'm a little young, so like I didn't see like these pictures. Like I saw some of them just because like they made it to Instagram, but like I wasn't on Twitter or anything at the time. These pictures were coming online of like the merch popping up in stores and then having like little like graphics on the window. I remember like it would say like Dangerous Woman Tour like in huge graffiti on the windows, and it was like so crazy to me. Like it was really, really cool. And so the pieces were basically based around the graffiti, and so they had like the, you know, graffiti hoodies, and then I think that they did a black version of this green hoodie that like was not in the original tour merch. Also, I'm just realizing this only through making this video. The graffiti on the long sleeve is the same graffiti on the wall in this picture. So I don't know if that means anything or if they somehow scanned it from off the wall and then put it onto the merch, but I never noticed and I thought it was cool. Once again, this is like 6 years ago. It was very fun to like see like things being changed. And talking about changes, aside from the graffiti hoodies that were just being put in stores and like some of them were modified, we started getting other things that were getting modified. So we had this Dangerous Woman crew neck. So it was just the Dangerous Woman album cover with like bright blue graffiti. I actually have one, but the funny thing is like mine is not real. I have it from Moonlight Merch, who's no longer in our operation, but yeah, it's like very oversized, it's very cute, and it's low-key like almost the same quality because like she just printed on Gildan, and like the print's a little faded and like a little smaller than like the official one, but I don't know, it's still really cute. Another one of my favorites, which I just got recently, was the pink long sleeve Dangerous Woman shirt, which is damn near the same as the crew neck, but it's just different colors. So like black and white album cover, and then it has the graffiti, and then the shirt is pink, and I just got that like literally 2 days ago. And yeah, I don't really wear pink, so it's like a nice way to like step outside of my comfort zone. Oh my gosh. And then there's this other one that I really, really want. It's like this tan long sleeve tee, and it has like bubble graffiti like on the sleeves that say Dangerous, and then like the picture on it is like Ariana and the dancers under the stage like on the Dangerous Woman Tour, ready to perform side to side, and it has like graffiti on it. It's just like really beautiful stuff. It captures the trends of like streetwear and how like merch was really taking off for like mainstream fashion versus also like her presence on stage and just like the aesthetic of the tour really well. Like it's not just cool clothing, like it literally captured the aesthetic of the tour so well. So it's just like really beautiful. So I also have the green and black Dangerous Woman Tour hoodies, and the first one I got actually was in store. So my shopping experience, right? At the time I was in Chicago and the Urban Outfitters shop was happening, and I went to the store, and I don't think I'll have any pictures or videos from that time. I remember going to the store and like going in person with my dad, and like obviously my dad wasn't too happy to see this woman with like a BDSM mask, like really, really, really big, blown up on these like hoodies and sweatshirts, and like me, like 14 years old, wanting to like wear that, you know, but it's fine. And so I got the black hoodie with the graffiti, so fire. It's like Dangerous Woman World Tour right here, and then like on the back it has all this cool stuff. It's like really beautiful. Ariana Grande at the top, and some of it's in graffiti, and then the bottom says like Dangerous Woman Tour. Fun fact, that's actually the font Nirvana uses. And then the text is like another part of text like from the Dangerous Woman Tour. The whole VETEMENTS feel of like this tour just really tied everything together. And then my other hoodie that I got, oh my god, story time. Okay, so then I started making money at a young age. As an Ariana fan and someone who needed to start buying clothes for himself, combine all those things together, and it was just a lot of orders. I had in 2018 bought the green Dangerous Woman Tour hoodie. I bought this one like very oversized, and it's so cute. And like it just says like Dangerous Woman on the front, huge graffiti, and then on the back like World Tour, and then the hood says Grande, just like the black one. Yeah, it just levels up outfits. So then there was this bomber jacket. Now y'all, this bomber jacket is rare, okay? I don't even think a lot of Arianators know about it today, just because like it doesn't have much, Like, I don't think people care about this jacket. I don't know why. I know people know about like the black bomber jacket, but like some people don't even know about that. I don't know. I kind of have a hard time like fathoming like how famous Ariana is, just because like from a young age, when I didn't have like any like interest in the internet, she was like one of the only people that I listened to besides like Nicki. So I mean, like, I've been following her and just like looking at her and not like anybody else's comments like for quite a long time. And then I got social media, and then obviously I knew she was like super famous, but like I don't even know. But I'm under the impression that a lot of Ariana fans came in like the Sweetener era, the Thank You Next era, and so for them to like know these jackets would be kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, so like I said, this jacket was released in black and orange, and I don't think it ever went to Urban Outfitters, but what did go to Urban Outfitters was this green version. So yeah, Alpha Industries does like black and green bomber jackets, and Ariana was just printing on them. And so it was this like green MA1 bomber, and the graffiti had like a black and white like effect on it. Yeah, it just says Grande and then World Tour in the back, just like the black one. And the funny thing is, I don't know when I got this, but it was a while after it had come out, and somehow my mom got it on sale for literally 50% off. So it started like $300. And let me just give you some pricing. For the other items, right? They're overpriced. Like the hoodies are like $80. When it comes to the jackets, the regular Alpha Industries bomber is priced at $150 at the time. Now it's $190, but it was $150. Ariana priced the black one at $160. So a $10 increase for a literal like Dangerous Woman Tour bomber jacket of Alpha Industries quality, which I'll talk about this another day, but like is literally the official supplier for like the military. Like they are like the shit. Like they are the OG. They are bomber jacket. Like they are synonymous with bomber jacket. Like anybody else who makes a bomber jacket, it's an imitation. Ariana taking like literal like best quality bomber jacket and then pricing it $10 more than like it was with her name on it. Very generous in my opinion. But anyways, the green one, when that one came out, it was $300. Even though Logie on the website, it looked kind of ugly, like I'm not gonna lie. And then like the way that like Urban Outfitters photographed it made it look very like slim and like longer. And then like the green was like ugly as hell. Then I did want it. And then I got it because my mom found it for literally 50% off, which was $150, which is insanely like amazing. Not only amazing deal because it's rare and it was $300, but it's a good price because regular MA1 is like $150. And in the grand scheme of things, like especially for like a bomber jacket, like yes, you can obviously find cheap bomber jackets, but they're not gonna look like this. And I'm not even trying to like act like this is a 2000 bomber jacket and like, oh, you can only achieve this look by paying that much. 150 is not that bad because at the end of the day, like Alpha Industries, in my opinion, like quality wise, is in the same bracket as like North Face and stuff. I would argue better. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say regarding the Dangerous Woman Tour and Urban Outfitters collection. Like seriously, these are from some of my favorite like merch pieces that Ariana has ever released. It's just like the graffiti, the tie-in with like the whole vêtements and like modern day like streetwear fonts of like the tour, and like fashion brands, and like how she ties like her interest in like current fashion trends into the music, into the performance, into the costumes, into the merch. It really does feel like you're part of the tour. Whereas I feel like sometimes other like artists, when they do tour merch, it's like kind of random. Like even if it looks cool, it's like this has nothing to do with the show. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. I will be doing more Dangerous Woman Tour merch talk and probably some Sweetener stuff too, just because I have a lot of it right now, like a lot of it I've been collecting. Yeah, I'm making a lot of videos. If you stuck through this one, but like you're not even into Ariana like that, thank you. I have other videos as well. I have like Balenciaga stuff, VETEMENTS stuff, Mugler stuff. I'm gonna do like little videos like these, and they're gonna be cute. Like this is literally like a collection within a collection being reviewed. You know, like this is even like the whole tour, like nothing though. So, okay, I'm just gonna stop here or else I'm not ever gonna shut the fuck up, and I need to go. So, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you maybe in a week. How about that? Can I do that? Probably not. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.